Hi everyone, welcome to the next video from this page from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. We have a really pretty looking tree here with lots of lovely flowers, the cutest giraffe you ever saw in your life, and some housing inside as well. So there's lots of different elements to this one. I'm not sure I really need to move it. We'll come in a little closer. I think what we'll do is we'll come in a lot closer and we'll deal with it in two halves. We do the top half first, so we have our really pretty tree. I'm going to start with the trunk actually. Excuse me. My first decision to make is this very bottom piece here of is that the trunk or is that the soil? And is this, I'm going to do it as trunk. I don't think I want to do it as soil. And what I'm going to do is, because it's drawn in stripes, I'm going to colour it in stripes. And there's a risk it might look a little bit odd, but I'm just going to go for it because that's how it's drawn. So I'm going to start with 16. We're using Staedtler Ergosofts today. If you're using any Staedtlers, the numbers tie up. So a 16 in your Super Soft or in your design journey will be the same as a 16 in your Ergosoft colour-wise. So, oh, I just hit my remote control with my elbow. Let's move it away. There we go. So if you are using a slightly different Staedtler set, then you don't need to worry, it's just the same colour. If you're using your Norris, you might have to scribble with it, swatch it to see if it's similar, because the Norris don't have numbers. It's a little bit frustrating, but that's the way it is. Excuse me. And I think the 36 Norris might be the same as this 36, but I couldn't be 100% sure. Anyway, I'm just moving up, and what I'm trying to do is to make the edges a little bit darker by just colouring over them with more layers compared to the centre, like that, even on the little branch pieces. This tree reminds me of one in Enchanted Forest, for the way the branches are drawn. Not that there's one identical to this, but just all the little sections. There are a few trees like that, I think. So that is our first layer with the 16. And then for my other bit, I'm going to just go one darker and just use the 49. So it's not going to be a really dark tree trunk. You know, normally I would do them in a darker brown, a 79, 77 or 76. But I wanted it to look maybe a little metallic, a little gold, bronzy, that sort of vibe going on. I'm not sure. You could very easily do it in the 77 and 76 if you want something a bit darker. I just wanted to do something different. So Johanna has just released a little sneaky peek on her socials today. Now today is the 15th, so you may have already seen it, but you may not. I did share it on my Facebook. Basically, there's a little affirmation, and then a really pretty heart that she's drawn, a flower heart, a group of flowers in a heart shape. Should we just clarify? I think that's a leaf. I'm not going to colour that. And she's like, this is my new project, can you guess? So I immediately thought, is it a journal? You know, because my journal's got affirmations and things in. I know she's releasing 2 books next year, so to have something that just needed a few pages of colouring and then other pages of lines, that would sort of make sense. I'm thinking about, I'm going to do this grass first, and I'm going to use 52, and I'm going to make it darker at the bottom and fade towards the top. Yeah, it would make sense if she was doing 2 books for next year that one of them is simple, if you know what I mean, for her with regards to the volume of pictures that are needed in it. But yes, if she'd producing that would be lovely. But we'll see. That I guessed a journal. There were other guesses too. Some people just said a tiny book like Small Victories, or someone said like another book like How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. Someone asked guessed they might be tarot cards. There were some very interesting ideas. These, are they leaves, are they flowers, are they buds, are they something completely different? I don't know. I think I'm just going to do them in this colour. I'm going to grab the 50, just do them in a light green colour. Again, I might just fade them up towards the tip. So anyway, it's anyone's guess really, and she likes to tease us. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm buying it. I always buy everything of Johanna's because I like, she's like the original and the best, I guess, I'm thinking. Excuse me, blowing my nose. And yeah, I just like everything that she does, without fail, really. I haven't got everything she made. Way in the beginning, actually, she did candles that wouldn't be for me. I'm not a candly person. This is 57. I'm going to do all the leaves in 57, but not the whole leaf. I'll show you. So we'd start down here, so it's nice and easy to see what I'm doing. I'm going to put a nice thick layer down here and then fade it off like that. And then we're going to come in with the 56 and do the tips. And I'm going to do all the leaves the same, because we've got so much going on with all the florals, which I'm not going to do all the same. I'm going to do a big mix of colour. I figure that if I do the leaves the same, it might just make it a little easier to pick out the bright colours, and it might look a bit less of a mishmash, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, so that's got me very excited this morning looking at that. And if you want a peep, it's on her, she's done it as a post, not a story, so it should still be on all her socials. It's on her Instagram and her Facebook, so you can go and have a little look and have a guess yourself and look at the beautiful artwork. It's just a sort of beautiful floral arrangement. It looks quite small, but yeah, who knows. So, oh, my stomach's rumbling. I've just had lunch. Made a rice salad for lunch, a warm one. Very simple, just fried up some cubes of sweet potato and pepper, added in some frozen peas, a bit of stock, concentrated stock, sort of a stock cube with just minimal water. Tipped it on, put the rice in, put some Worcestershire sauce in there, and it didn't really need the oyster sauce, to be honest, but it's past its use by date, so we figured we ought to use it, even though, you know, it was weird because Worcester sauce is matured. It's kept in barrels for years to mature, and but it has a use by date, best before date, which is weird. But I guess once it's out of the barrel, it might age in a different type of way. But I think there's some sort of weird story behind it, like they were making cough mixture and they left it too long, or something like that. So now we just don't have it for cough. It can get quite hot. It's some tamarind and spices and vinegar, I think. It's it's one of these family recipes that nobody knows type thing, but obviously they have to put ingredients on the bottle. And it, matured in oak barrels and all this sort of thing. But tasty. Oh, I just needed to give my eyes a rest. I don't know why they're being a bit blurry today. I haven't really done any close work yet. Now, I think I'm going to leave these. They look like these, but I might colour them in a bright colour, or I'll just see how it all works as we go through. I was having a little investigate of my statistics on YouTube. It was really interesting that in November 2022 my views suddenly shot up for like 2 weeks, and I cannot work out why. Suddenly my channel just became really popular for a while and then faded again, and I had a look through all the videos that I released at that time, and there was nothing amazing in my mind, or well, even there was nothing that got like more views than normal. So it was it was a little odd. Couldn't work it out, but there we go. I was just looking and trying to sort of think about what to do to try and, you know, get a few more views. I want to get my subscribers up, things like that. I'm getting so close to 12 and a half, so it'd be nice to get up to that. You know, little milestones, do you know what I mean? Now we finished that 57, so I'm going to get the 56, which I'm going to just sharpen, and I'm going to use it on the tips. Hopefully you will be able to see that it's not all the same colour. This is always, I feel, a slightly more yellowy. Oh, there's a leaf under there, isn't there? A slightly more yellowy shade. So it looks a little different. Yeah, I've been out today. It's quite warm again. I think it's supposed to be a bit of a cooler day today, actually, to be honest, but it's still sunny. And the river is so low. We have had so little rain. It's just, I don't think I've ever seen it so low, particularly not this early in the year. But we are due rain next Saturday for a more prolonged period of time, so hopefully that will help it. But I've got to water the garden later as well. It's getting so dry. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I am just colouring the tips. Yeah, they're saying that, you know, if it's continues like this, we shall have drought conditions and hosepipe bans and things like that in the summer. But obviously at the minute, because it's still so close to winter, it's okay. It feels like we either have droughts or floods. Yeah. But anyway, we don't. But it was, yeah, it was quite dry. But I saw the ducklings again today. Yesterday there were 3. Today there were 2. I'm afraid it's the way nature is, sadly. But hopefully they'll manage to keep an eye on the 2. Keep them. But yeah, as I say, it's just the way nature is. There we go. So let's put in some colour. Now I'm debating whether to do all the flower middles the same. I think because we've got such a limited palette of colours, maybe that will be a good idea. Here, this one is my first one. It's 11. And I'm going to do the sort of, how am I going to do these? I think I'll show you on this one because we can almost see all of it. I'm going to do it darker all the way around the edge. Like that. So a really thick line there, and then a bit less coming in like that. And then the same on this one. Like that. The smaller ones, there's a little bit less to do, really can't do a lot. This one, yeah, usually I don't do the centre in a different colour, but I'm thinking, well, let's do it this time, because I don't normally when I have one that's drawn like that. Let's do it differently. It's bright, isn't it, this colour? Then we're going to go down a shade. Oops. So this is number 1. When I put yellow in like this, I always look at the flowers and I always think the petals, and I always think how nice they look in white. But one day I learned to colour white flowers. I ought to practice a bit more, really. But anyway, one day. Yeah, that one, maybe I'll bring that in a tad. But yes, I didn't see that much along the canal. What did I see? I'm just going to grab a random colour and just do some flowers. So I'm going to grab 25. I'm just going to, I haven't done that one. 11. Oh, 1. Yeah, there are quite a few mallards. I saw 2 male males, a female and a baby. I saw a few more hens. Saw a robin. Not on the water, obviously. Tree. Pigeons, gulls. Nothing very exciting. I was quite tickled me though. I went to the supermarket. My son had run out of tea bags, and we were short of milk, so went and bought tea bags and milk. I couldn't have felt more British, just buying tea bags and milk. Go home, make a cup of tea. I thought I didn't actually. This is number 29. We're going to do bright red one. I'm going to move randomly around, just where I think I can sharpen this, just where I think it might work, if that makes sense. I'd like to keep sort of, this is pinky red in my mind, and so I keep it away from the pink. That makes sense, although we may end up having to have some pinks together because we've got quite a few. I actually think this is probably just a red rather than pinky red, but anyway, there we go. This one is the pinky red, which is the 23. Oh, I guessed it right. Getting there. Now these two look the same and these three look the same, but I'm just going to do them all different. I want a big splash of different colours, so I'm just going to go for it really. It was funny, I was talking to a neighbour last night. I'm putting the bins out. Exciting, isn't it? And he was saying how he likes it hot, and I was saying I don't. You know that. And he said, oh, his partner, she doesn't like it hot either. And I said, oh, I just think, it's already May, it won't be long till September. And he was like, whoa, don't say that. Number 2. It was funny. He went inside then laughing. I scared him off. But of course, British summer is very early for us to have weather this warm. So it could be that, it doesn't stay. But my parents are going on holiday tomorrow for a week. And there's not supposed to be any rain either, around any of the country really until next Friday, so only when they're travelling back. This is 24. We're getting more into some oranges, so I think it's rather nice for them really that they're gonna have a nice dry weather, and it'll be warm. My dad really likes it warm and dry. There are some people who feel like, if they're on holiday and the weather isn't good, it sort of ruins the whole holiday. He used to always want to go abroad so that we got dry, warm weather. He doesn't do flying anymore. This is for, he's got a bit of a anxiety around flying, phobia, I suppose. Not so much about the safety of the plane, which a lot of people worry about. I probably would worry a bit more now than I used to, because of Boeing. Anyway, let's step away from the news and controversial topics. No, it's some claustrophobia. Which is fair enough. He didn't used to have it. He used to fly. It was fine, but And I think also if he needed to, 42, or really wanted to, I think he would probably try and get some help. But I think he is sort of aware of the environmental impact of flying. Cost as well, and things like that as well. So I think all those things, he's not. But I say to him, go on a boat. And he's like, I can't swim. Like, I know, but well, I don't. It's not like you don't have to swim to go on a boat, and it's rare for you to anyway. But still, they don't want to, and that's that. So they don't. So they're holidaying on the south coast, which is where most people in the UK holiday, to be fair. This is 20, I say most, I mean it depends where you live. But because it's it's the warmest. The south is the warmest. The beaches are rather nice. The holiday resorts have lots of facilities. You know, they're going somewhere, I think they're going to Exmouth. There's hotels and cafes, there's shops, there's places nearby they can jump on the bus and visit different places. They're going on the train, they can get the train, you know, it's all very convenient for them. And I hope it's flat. They usually like trying to find somewhere that's fairly flat. My mother's brother used to always go to Paynton on holiday, which is sort of Devon, because it was so flat, and he struggled with walking. He was blind actually, which didn't help. This is 61, but yeah, he struggled with his legs, and his wife did actually. So having somewhere flat really suited them. You know, they could just walk slowly without any worries about inclines, that sort of thing. But my mum can do a little hill, but she doesn't like doing them very much. But I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever been there, so not sure really. But anyway, we'll see. I'm sure they'll tell me all about it when they get back, or maybe when they're there. She said that they'll take photographs and send them to us. What they do is my dad gets onto WhatsApp and then sends us all the photos from the day and gives us a little bit of news of what they've been doing. And he tends to take a picture of them eating their lunch so you can see what they had and what restaurant they were at, and yeah, any sort of significant places they might have been to. And it's really fun just to see what they've done and think, oh, wish I was there type thing. 62 sometimes, sometimes not. But I'm hoping it's going to be a bit too warm, I think, for me. I'd rather holiday in the sort of very like April or October, where it's a little bit warmer. You can travel better because there's unlikely to be snow, but it's not going to be really hot. But I was going to organise us a little family holiday, was it last summer, to London, but I was so stressed at the time. There was a lot going on, and I was managing, but I couldn't cope with the idea of something else to have to be responsible for doing and organising, because I would have been the one doing all the organising, you know. And I just don't think I can do it. So I didn't. And this is 6. So we didn't end up going, because I quite fancied it. I thought I'd like to go to look around Buckingham Palace. I'd like to go to Parliament and look around there. I'd like to go to the V&A, Victoria and Albert Museum, and it would be fun. But even a day trip to organise that, because you've got to pay for things in advance, organise the tickets, work out how you're going to get from one place to the next, how long you're going to leave between each one to get the tube across and all that sort of thing. And in the end I was just like, I don't think I can do this, you know. So as I said, I didn't. I'm going to go for a slightly lighter blue. This is 30. There's a lot of dark blues. I think I may try to avoid those. Yes, so I didn't, and we didn't go. But, you know, maybe sometime when I've got a bit more bandwidth for being able to cope with that sort of thing, we might do that, but I will have to see. But in the meantime, we can go to places close to home and just enjoy life at home in our town. We live in a beautiful part of the country. You know, we have our canal, we have the river. The river's prettier than the canal, actually. We have hills, which I rarely go to. We have parks, even the streets. Town's quite pretty. The views from the town are really lovely. You know, there's so much to appreciate and enjoy. Next blue is the 37. Go here. I don't know. I'm thinking. Oh, I think I know what I'll do. So yes, it's I find sometimes it's just thinking about getting everybody organised, everything organised. I'm not sure the children wanted to go anyway. The cost of it and whether it's worth it. We can afford it, but is it worth it? You know, and all that sort of thing. Organising my business, my videos, getting ahead enough to be able to go and everything else. And it's like, oh, I just can't do it. In between here, but it was mainly the organising the actual trip, the pressure of finding the accommodation that everybody would be happy in and that sort of thing. I'm going to do this, oops, I'm going to drop the pencil, the 43 for here. I was like, what am I going to use here? The 43. So yeah, it didn't get done. The holidays I usually pick for us are just go somewhere and just sit there and not go anywhere, because that's what the family like. But I like to go and explore places and do things, but nobody else does. I said to my sister, I said, we'll have to go on holiday, just us. And she said she hasn't got time at the moment. But my parents said I could go with them. I don't know. I'm going to do my last flower in the 3. Problem with my parents is they walk so slow, and so it just takes ages to get anywhere, and my legs get really tired walking really slowly. It's not their fault, you know, but I'm just like, oh. But we'll see. At the moment it's not an option. There is at our favourite wetlands trust, they've got some new places you can book to stay overnight, and they're little shepherd's huts. They look lovely. I wouldn't mind doing that. And there's no Wi-Fi, so you're just like cut off. I was like, ooh. I said to husband about it, and he said, yeah, that'd be good. I thought, really? This is 5. I'm going to do these. I decided to do them in green. He's never without his Wi-Fi, his phone, his gadgets. So I don't know how he would cope. But the only thing is they only sleep 2. The ones that sleep 4 are 2 double beds, because it's like a double bed and a sofa bed, double sofa bed. So I don't think my children would share a bed somehow. Right, Mr. Giraffe, what colour are giraffes? I think I'm going to do him this colour, 73 for the body, but lightly, because I don't think giraffes tend to be that dark, but I want a slightly different tone to the tree trunk for him. So I'm going to do this lightly, and then the we're going to do these pieces a bit darker. I think this will work. My stomach's going gurgle gurgle. It's that rice salad I had for lunch. Nice. Right, so I'm going to use the 76 for the spots. And I did say to my husband that I'd like us to go away and do things more when he retires. And he was quite shocked, because he said I wasn't expecting to ever retire and I didn't plan on doing anything like that. Okay. So that was interesting. Now, I had said that I was going to do all my roofs in gold, so that's what I'm going to do for this one. Now, I've got the 76 in my hand. I'm going to use it. Now, I didn't use the 76 for this one. I used the 77, I think, so they'll be a little bit different, but I think that's good. I'm just going to sharpen it. It's a bit square. There we go. Now, these roofs are a little bit easier, so we can just put a little bit here, fade it like that, and a little bit here. And on this roof we do it this way. and then this one will sort of have to start to sort of angle it in a bit. Do that top bit as well, like that. Now these, I'm going to take it up like that. I'm not going to put any on that side. Yeah, go dark here. Like that. Is that all of them? Yeah. Our next colour, on our other ones we use 73. I think maybe, oops, I'm not sure to be honest, we might not have done, we might have used 49. What shall I use? I'm going to use 73. So just going over what we've done and then putting that colour in. Now it's going to be a bit orangey, but I don't mind, and it's the only way I can do it with this set of pencils because of the colours that we've been given, but that's fine. No, I don't really have space for a bit on that one yet. There we go. Now I'm going to go to 16, which we did use on the other one. There we go. Yeah, my mum was saying about how my dad does so many different clubs. He does 2 music groups, 3 bridge clubs, I think, and 1 badminton. And so she barely sees him, because she's hoping she'll see a bit more of him while they're on holiday. I'm going to go for the 11 next, which would be nice for them to actually have some time, get to know each other again. I think she feels like they're ships passing in the night. I think it does happen in most marriages. It was happening to me and my husband last year, where we would just, it was difficult because we were both really stressed and we couldn't take on each other's stress, so it was hard to talk to each other because we had different things that we were stressing about, and yeah, it was a tough time, but fortunately we're through it now. The stress is reduced a lot, and yeah, it's good. All is good. Now 2 blues for the housing. We use 2 blues here, 2 blues here, but which 2? I think I might end up using the same 2 that I did last time, because these are 2 I didn't use for flowers. So the first one is 33. I think I did use these, 33 and 63. I also used 3. I'm going to use 33. It's quite dark blue, isn't it? I think I used 33 for the chimney pots. Like that, just the tops and the door. And then I think we used 3 for the doors yesterday, but it doesn't matter that much. And then the 63 for the actual houses. I'm not going to press terribly hard. I'm just going to put a layer down, although on these chimneys I want a bit of lighter bit in the middle, because I feel like they're rounded, and if we do that it helps to trick our eye to thinking they're rounded. Now here's going to be a darker bit under the roof. But apart from that, I'm going to do all the same. I've missed that chimney, haven't I? Just spotted it. This one here. We can do this bit. We need to get the other one for the top. And all around. I have a feeling this video is going to be quite long. What is it, 35? Not as long, well, by the time we're done. It'll be longer than yesterday's, but I always knew it would be because yesterday's was a little bit simpler than this one and the next one. But that's okay. I'm enjoying it. It sounds funny, but I'm quite looking forward to finishing this book, really. Just a sense of accomplishment at finishing one of Johanna's big books, you know, but also being able to show you and do a flip through and that sort of thing, and hopefully inspire you to finish yours, not necessarily doing it in the same way that I've done it, but just to see that it's doable to finish. And it'll be because it's the only book of hers I haven't finished, apart from the artist's editions and the postcard books, you know, I mean sort of proper book, if you know what I mean. But that's yeah, it's I find her books very easy to finish, in the sense that I like all of the pictures. Maybe there might only be a couple that I'm sort of struggle with a little bit, just making it slightly darker under the roofs, and now just around here where they're overlapping, try and make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. There we go. Now our next step is to work out where that pencil goes. There we go. Windows. Now, oh no, I need to do that chimney pot in 33, don't I? 33. This one here. The windows. Now, yesterday's windows, you see, we did with grey. I'm going to do that again. I think it works because we've got all the gold in the roof, so if we try and did yellow windows, I think it would take from that somehow. So this is 80, and I'm going to just put a bit across these glass bits, excuse me, hiccups now, to make it look like they're reflecting some light. I do have a video on how to colour windows. There are many methods. This is just one. I'm not sure if that's a window or a gap between the houses, but it is now a window. Now behind our houses, I'm going to do the same as this one. We use the 6. So that's what I'm going to use. And this is just plain colouring. Nice and straightforward. Although sometimes I find it harder because you have to do your best to try and keep it look even. That isn't easy. I had a phone call at 7:30 this morning. It was quite the shock. I had dirty hands. I was preparing my husband's lunchbox, and I had like carrot juice. I was peeling carrots, you know, so he grabbed the phone. It was for me. Basically I'd reported a water leak because of this all this talk of drought and things, you know, don't want water leaks, and it wasn't in our road, it was in the road near us, and I just happened to see it and thought maybe no one will report it, but he phoned up to say that someone had already reported it, so that was good, and that they would get it fixed, but it takes them a little while because of the position of it. They have to work in the road, so it's a little bit tricky. I have to, you know, plan it quite well. Now our pot, I'm going to do the same colour as this one. So that one is 20 and 62. So I'm just grabbing those 2 pencils. Now of course we've used these already in our on the flowers, but that's okay. So here's a 62. I'm going to use it for the top bit like we did on this one. We've got, actually, is that a stripe? I think I am going to colour it as a stripe because I think it will just make it look a little more interesting. So although Johanna's drawn little dots there as if maybe it's not actually a stripe, I'm going to colour it like it's a stripe. There we go. wondering if we're going to get any post today. I know my father-in-law didn't forget my birthday, but I still haven't received his card. And I know he's going to be upset that I haven't had it yet, and today is Thursday. It was my birthday on Saturday, and I know he posted it a bit late, but there's this, and maybe he put a second class stamp on, not sure, but he normally puts first class on. He's normally very good at judging it so it arrives on the day. Unfortunately, what he doesn't realise is that our post around here is so rubbish that things don't come when you would expect them to come, you know. I don't know if we're short-staffed or if there just isn't a budget there. I don't know. This is 20 and use it for this bit and the stripe. Do the stripy bit first. I think it's quite difficult if you live in a town. I think it's easier because the route the postman takes is more likely to be more letters needing to be delivered, or parcels, whatever, because there is a greater concentration of houses. Here we have quite a lot of villages within the area, and so of course the houses in villages, the houses are further apart from each other usually, plus there's gaps in between from village to village which has to be driven through, which would have no houses, so no delivery, you know. So I think it's we live in quite a difficult area where that's concerned. It's probably a lot more expensive to deliver post here than it would, say, be in a city like London, where, you know, you have businesses to deliver to, you have houses really close together, really most you know, within the city the houses are very close if there are any, and flats and businesses and things like that. It's much more difficult. We're much less sort of packed together in some areas. You know, I live in a street, so got quite a lot of houses around, but not everybody is like that. Now I'm going to use my black, like I did yesterday, to go around this, just to make it look slightly more three-dimensional. So put a line there and then just bring it in a tad and lighten as you go. So lots of layers here and then just less here as you come out. And what it does is it makes it look like the edge of the pot is casting a shadow on the items that are inside. So then it looks more like that set back inside the pot rather than printed on the pot, which I'm sure isn't the idea. I can see where I've missed a lot here with my pink. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. There we go. I'm just going to grab the 20. Just put a little bit along here where I've missed that bit there, but you probably haven't missed that bit, so you probably don't need to do that. There we go. I'm happy with that. I will come out a little so you can see the whole thing. If you're not colouring along, you'll want to see what it looks like. There we go. Trying to straighten up a bit for you. There's our finished one. It's quite colourful, isn't it? Not massively bright because the ergos aren't really bright. Also my lamp is very bright, so it's some bleaching out the colour a bit. But I think it works with the matching pots and things. We'll do the same. And it's going to be a little trickier tomorrow because we have a boat in the pot rather than a house. But we have water, so we have blue, and I think I can make it work. Yeah, I guess I could do the... Yeah, I think I can get it to work, but you'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to tell you now. And by the time I record it, I'd have probably forgotten anyway. But never mind. Thank you so much for watching today. Please do like, subscribe and comment and share with your friends. Share on your... if there's a particular video of mine you really like, please do share it on your socials. And any pictures you've coloured following the videos, do please give me a little mention, and then people might jump over to my channel and have a little look. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Have a super duper day and happy colouring.